Hello to anybody out there that is interested in applying to the dual BA in Le Havre or even Sciences Po Le Havre. I hope this video is helpful for you. I don't necessarily control cinematography, sound, questions, or even the type of filming that is being done. However, this video is for you and I hope that it's helpful. If you are currently in Reims, Poitiers, Menton, or Le Havre, please reach out to me. I'm super down to collaborate and create something, so please DM me. Anyways, I hope this video is helpful for you and please let me know if you have any questions on the comments.
Hey, excuse me. I'm looking for a Sciences Po student to interview.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah,
What,
what's up?
What's your name?
My name's Ray.
So what year are you in Sciences Po Le Havre?
Right now I'm in the second year.
And so where are you from?
I'm American.
And what languages do you speak?
English and Tagalog are my native languages, but I also have learned Spanish, French, and currently Japanese.
And what is the specificity of this campus?
This campus is Asia centered.
Very cool. And what are you majoring in?
Well, I'm in EcoSoc.
Wow, that's crazy. And what minor are you in?
Well, in the same vein as EcoSoc, I've chosen International Trade and Finance as my minor.
Other minors are in Sciences Po?
Well, if international trade and finance isn't really your thing, you can also take Espace Mondial, which is like an international relations minor, or thinking like a lawyer.
And so what did you choose your major, EcoSoc?
I'm KO, so I had no choice, but I really do think I would have picked EcoSoc either way.
And why did you pick ITF as your minor?
Funny story. I had no choice. But it is a really interesting course, and Professor Bohm is amazing, so I definitely recommend it.
So why Sciences Po Le Havre?
Yeah, so I think, as corny as it sounds, the main motivating factor there is to experience different cultures, different perspectives. And I think you really get that at Sciences Po, and even especially at the Le Havre campus, where you're getting different perspectives of students from North America, like myself, Europe, Asian, etc. And you get to experience a completely new culture, and especially for the third year, whether you're in a dual degree such as myself, or if you just have the normal third year experience, you're guaranteed to further that project and go abroad somewhere completely new and experience education and life there, which is really cool.
Okay, thank you very much. And where are we right now?
We are in the library.
And so did you know about this city, Le Havre, before coming here?
No, of course not.
And in the end, are you happy that you chose Sciences Po?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I know it's a bit more of an obscure choice to go with, but you definitely learn a lot and grow a lot as a person while you're here.
And how would you rate Sciences Po Le Havre on a scale of 1 to 10?
By what metric? No, I'm kidding. In terms of social life, that's definitely a good 9.5 out of 10. Because it is such a small campus, it's quite intimate and you really get to know people, I feel, especially once you're in the second year in your major. Academics, like any other college, it's hit and miss with some courses, but overall I'd still say like a 7.5.
And so what would a typical Sciences Po student look like? And so now, tell us, how do you think the student community is overall? Is it very international or not?
Well, there's a lot to do here. And I think there are definitely, like, no matter what you're interested in, whether it's debate, politics, the arts, like finance-related things, you can really, like, find your own community and different clubs and whatnot to participate in while you're here. And in terms of the international aspect of it, yeah, I definitely think so. As I've already mentioned before, there's people from, like, pretty much every continent here, and every culture. It's really cool.
So did you know French when you arrived in Le Havre?
No, barely anything.
And do you feel like you need French to survive in Le Havre or in France in general?
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, I don't recommend not knowing anything when you come here, especially since Le Havre is a bit more of a tiny town in France, so you shouldn't expect that people automatically know how to speak English. And just basic phrases overall will make your life so much easier when you go to the bakery, to the supermarket, just everyday life. For sure. But with that being said, it's not impossible to learn quickly, especially because you have so many resources. You get 6 hours of French class each week if you are in the beginner level, like I was last year. But additionally, make friends with native speakers, right? And just don't be afraid to practice, even if you make mistakes.
And how would you say your French improved so far?
Well, if you're unfamiliar with the system, it basically goes from A1 to C1. The A level is like beginners, B's are intermediates, C is advanced. I went from A1, so completely nothing, to B1 within a year. And like I said, I think as long as you practice and you really apply yourself, it should work out for you.
So tell us, what is your favorite class so far?
I would say my favorite class so far, especially this year, was Historical Sociology of Capitalism, which was the lecture for 4th sem with Prof. Menton Student. It was really good. And that's another thing about the courses here, is that they're often interdisciplinary, right? Historical Sociology of Capitalism, what does that even mean, right? But it really is like a good fusion of what makes ecosoc: history, sociology, and economics, right? Yeah.
And what is your least favorite class from those 2 years?
In my first year, I had a teacher who shall not be named, but he didn't show up to a good 40% of the courses. So in the end, during what's normally supposed to be a revision week, we had a whole bunch, like 9 hours worth of makeup classes. So I guess my advice to you is, if you come here, don't take diplomacy.
And so how much would you say you study per day? How many hours? Or maybe per week?
It definitely depends, especially because there are different assignments that you are allotted throughout the semester, right? Whether that be group projects or individual projects, and that can really hinder your studying. But I guess if I'm just to give a average number per day, I guess, probably, I don't know, 2 or 3.
Okay. And what do your other days look like? For example, 3 days. What would you do on a Sunday or a Saturday here in Le Havre?
Well, the good thing is Le Havre campus is right next to a mall called Dogs Vauban, which has a lot of great restaurant options, Del Arte for pizza, Wok Grill if you are hungry and want a buffet, even just KFC if you want to junk out. I really recommend that place. Other than that, Le Havre is a very walkable city, and especially on days where the weather is decent, like today, it's really nice to go out and walk by the Bazin, to the beach, and just explore the little alleyways throughout the city.
And so do you feel in general like it's a lot of work to be in Sciences Po?
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is definitely a lot of work.
And can you tell us a little about midterms or final season, for example? Like, how does it feel like?
Stressful. What can I say about midterms and finals? It definitely depends from semester to semester, right? You're going to have the courses that you're strong in, the ones that you're weaker in, that you're going to need to put more work into. But the good news is we do have revision week normally to catch up on any studying you might need for the finals. Yeah.
And how would you prepare for the midterms and the finals? For example, do students share with each other presentations or work? Like, do you like to revise with other people? Like, how do you prepare?
Yeah, I'd say a good part of the campus culture around here is that people are very much willing to study with one another, to share their notes and collaborate. It's not really a culture of leaving people behind. Oh, you can't have my notes, blah, blah, blah. So that aspect is really good, and it makes midterm studying a lot more bearable to be able to do it with other people, for sure.
So you wouldn't say that Sciences Po is a competitive environment?
That's not what I'm saying, per se. More so that it may be competitive, but it's not animistic, if that makes sense.
And so do you feel in general there is a lot to do in Le Havre?
No, I don't. It is a very small city, but you know, it is really a sort of it's what you make of it type situation. So you can definitely still have plenty of fun while you're here.
And so what do you do to make the most out of this city?
I say hang out with people, your different friends on campus. Go to the parties you're invited to, go to people's birthdays, and like hang out. Don't be afraid to, initiate with people, and also go to the things you're invited to.
And do you go to Paris or other bigger cities often?
Personally, no, but I know a lot of people do. It's definitely feasible, especially since it's only 2.5 hours by train and about 3.5 by bus.
And how feasible it is to travel during the semester?
I'd say you're given a pretty good amount of opportunities. We have spring break, for example. We have a very long winter break, summer break, obviously. And even if you're on a tight budget, there are cheaper options. Of course, Paris is right there. But also, when you're here, you'll be able to see which countries or destinations are cheaper to go to, depending on the season, right?
And so, is there any of the places you've been in Europe during your stay here that were very, I don't know, attractive, that you really liked?
Yeah. If I were to give one example, it'd be the most recent trip I took during spring break with my friends to Portugal, which is actually one of the cheaper options I would really recommend, whether it's Lisbon or Porto. It's also very close, just a 2.5-hour plane ride, I believe it was. Very affordable and very beautiful. And warmer than Havre.
And warmer.
That's always a plus.
And so, maybe we're getting emotional here, but what do you think you will miss about Sciences Po when you leave?
For sure, it's mostly going to be the student community, obviously my friends, and especially when you go off to your third year or your dual degree place, right? It's often, I would assume it's most likely going to be a campus that's bigger than ours. We only have about 300 students, and I definitely think I'm going to miss that intimacy of, like, no matter where you walk on campus, there's someone you can, say hi to.
And what will you miss about Le Havre?
The city itself, I'm gonna miss Wok Grill. It's good food.
And so where are you going next year, actually? Tell us more about it.
Well, I'm in the KO dual degree, so I'm off to Tokyo for the next 2 years.
Very cool. And so last question, overall, would you recommend this campus, Sciences Po Le Havre, to another student?
For sure, I think so. Whether it's, no matter which major you're going to choose, no matter which major you choose, it'll be a very fulfilling experience, I think. You're going to meet a lot of great people, make new memories, etc., etc. Yeah, I don't think I would have it any other way, honestly.
I agree.